one rule. Don't die.
Well, I did die, figuratively speaking. Welcome to the reboot of a playthrough of Colonial Twilight. Why a reboot? Well, it turns out I screwed up major rules. And if you were following along, you didn't say anything. Okay, well, it's hardly your fault. Anyway, when it came to event cards, I did not read my flowchart rules very carefully enough, because I thought when you got this symbol, that meant the FLN bot was going to play them. Nope, you still have to go through the flowchart, and then there's conditions where they'll play the event card. I don't know why I spaced out on that, but it ended up I was playing 2 event cards for the FLN, and I think my side got a significant advantage doing that. And so I figured, well, it's only 2 cards. Let's just go ahead and restart. And be a little more fair-minded and pay a little bit better attention to how that flowchart works. Okay, so here we are, and I'll do a little strategy about those event cards, because you can screw yourself up with them. Okay, but here we are at the very beginning. Do I need to really do the background again? I guess so. We are playing the French. We are trying to get that marker to 35 for victory, which is support and control. The FLN are going to try to get their opposition and bases to 30 for the win. You can see where our France track, this is kind of like support material for the continue the war, or political will in a sense. And you can see that's all the way it's good for the French here, bad over here, and so we have some work to do there. We do have all our forces out. We have support in the cities, as well with control, a little tougher out in the wilderness there. And finally, we have these cards in play, and I apologize for the glare there. Recall de Gaulle. De Gaulle is in power here, and this allows various abilities. One is to be able to train not just in cities, but also in country where you have control on bases. This allows the FLN will never play this event. It's a kind of a standing event where I can, in exchange for commitment, I can knock down FLN resources. I can't imagine many scenarios where I'd want to do that. Finally, there's coup d'etat, which I can play if I want to wipe out both of these cards, and we'll go along with circumstances there. So, and of course, the FLN is going to be first eligible. So, with that all in mind, let's get started. The deck is set, 39 cards in here, including 3 propaganda rounds. And this is, I forgot to mention, this is the short scenario. We will be playing the French, and the FLN will be using the solo bot. Once again, we will try that. Okay, so first card, Kasbah. And the FLN is first eligible, as I said, and I'll go ahead and show you the flowchart. I'm not going to go through it every single time. I'll probably just edit this out, but I want people to see it, just to see how it kind of works. Start, and then we move to here, lim op, and resources at 0, then the FLN will pass. So basically, they're hardly ever going to pass unless they're just out of money, and they're looking at only being able to do a limited op. So, none. So we're going to move on here. Each FLN Algerian base at 1+ population has 2 or more underground guerrillas and 1 or more population 0. Now you can see here that all the spaces with bases only have 1 and then not 2 for the high population, so definitely that's a no to that one. No to this one, yes. Then no, the government was active already. It wasn't. And so will not be eligible. Yeah, so that all factors in. No. Rally would place base or FLN bases on the map times 2. The number of bases on the map are, I'll show you, 8. And times 2 would be 16. Is it greater than the number of guerrillas at FLN bases? I can tell you that there's 13. And then you're supposed to roll a dice and round it down. Well, even if I roll the highest possible number, which would be a 3 on that, that would equal 16. It would not be greater than 16. So So the answer to that is going to be yes, and yes means a rally. And just a little picture there. We're going to do all these little steps and burn up resources, and it lets us burn up to 6 spaces, or for 2/3 of your resource maximum. We have what? I think I might have set that wrong. Hold on. No, I didn't. It's 15 resources. 2/3 of that would be 10, and so that's the maximum I'm allowed to spend on this. And so let's get started with that. I'm not gonna read you the whole thing here. We're not gonna be able to place bases, so we're just gonna be making gorillas wherever we can. And it tells us in the priority, first of all, at bases with less than 2 underground gorillas, more than 0 population. Only if that'll come into factor later. There's no bases as such in any 0 at the moment. But the priority is first in Algeria. So that's in Algeria. That's in Algeria. That's in Algeria. And that is in Algeria. That's all the bases in Algeria by priority. So we are going to spend 4 resources. 1, 2, 3, 4. And it tells us to place the maximum 2 plus the population plus 1 is the amount of gorillas they want in each spot. So that would be 3, like that. And we have just enough gorillas to get all of them onto our bases. I assume that's by design for the starting scenario. So all of them, take them. We are now out of gorillas, but that does not end the fun, because we will also target the French track, spend a resource, like so, and bump this back. And now France has a lot of work to do to get support for the war. Now, in a lot of cases, we would be able to also, as part of the rally, we could agitate. But in all the spaces, and it's in a target space, I think so, they already are at opposition, so there's no need to agitate in the spaces that they rallied in. So that is actually it for the rally operation, but they still can do subversion in 2 spaces with Algerian cubes and underground gorillas. And first we're going to try to drain the territories of all of my French forces, or French aligned forces. And there's basically 2 on the map, here and here. So by removing these 2, that will leave those spots wide open. It'll also yield up control of these 2 regions, like so. And speaking of control, I need to double check over here. We got 4 to 3, so that's going to flip over to FLN control. Over here, same thing. Oh, it already is. And FLN control here. Okay. So, a typical, I would say this is the typical opening for the short scenario, is where they just rally all their gorillas. I don't know, I can't see a scenario when they wouldn't. But that basically ends his move. He executed an op and a special activity, leaving us to either execute the event, which does nothing. It has no effect for us, so we would not do it. We can execute a limited op. I may do that. Let me think about it. And for my limited op, I think I'm just going to pull a sweep. We're going to sweep. Well, I use this for the target, and we're going to pay 2 resources to do that. All right, we're going to send 3 troops. 2 troops. No, 3. We'll see how that works. And this is going to reveal all these guys. It's a plain. If this is a mountain, I can only do it for every 2. So, we are setting ourselves up to thump that area. And that will be my move. Okay, we executed a limited op. The nice thing about this is going to make us first eligible for the next card. And so I think I've got the intro and everything down. And it looks like we've got a cleaner start than we did last time, so I'm glad about that. So I think we're going to leave it there and join us next time. And thanks for watching.